This video is about the nucleic acids. So this is a typical living cell, and this here is the nucleus, the control center. It controls every other organelles, and also this nucleus contains these nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. Inside this nucleus lies the most important set of molecules known to life, the nucleic acids. That is this DNA, and the other is this RNA. So the definition of nucleic acids, it is the DNA and RNA in polymeric forms to form a big macro biomolecule are the nucleic acids. So the DNA and RNA in polymeric forms means that they do not exist only in one form, they do not only have monomeric form, rather they have polymeric forms like primary structure, secondary, tertiary, and so on. And so they form a big macro biomolecule. So they are the biomolecules, very important to life. So the next is about, so this is about the DNA. So this video is only about the DNA in this nucleic acids. It does not constitute RNA's portion. So the first is about the DNA relationship with the gene, and the other is chromosomes. So DNA makes up the gene, and whereas the gene determines the genetic makeup. The way some certain people look some certain way, they have their traits resembling their parents, their offspring parents resembling the characters traits is because of the gene. And the next is also about the chromosomes that are made out of the genes. When there are many genes, they combine together, that would give chromosomes. So genes are parts of DNA. So DNA makes up the gene, and chromosomes are structures. They are made out of DNA. So DNA is very important. It gives the gene, and the other is chromosome. That's how they are linked. So the next is about the nucleotides. Nucleotides, they are what make DNA functional and meaningful, helping it carry the genetic information we understand today. So it's because of the nucleotides. So DNA and RNA both have this. Both nucleic acids have nucleotides. They are also the building blocks. They are the building blocks of the nucleic acids, and they have this three component. That is, the first is the nitrogenous base, which are adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. For the RNA, in place of this T, it would be uracil, that is U. The next second important component for the nucleotides in DNA is a pentose sugar, and the third one is a phosphate. So the first I will talk about is the nucleotides. Two important parent compounds by like molecules, they are purine, and the other is pyrimidine. Though the purine is a very short word, it has two rings, whereas a pyrimidine, it is a long word, but it only has one ring. That's how you're gonna remember. Two rings means purine, one ring means pyrimidine. Adenine and guanine, they are the purine. They have the structure resembling their parent compound, that is purine, while for the pyrimidine, cytosine, and thymine, they have the structures as of their parent compound, that is pyrimidine. So this is about the structure of the parent compound and their nitrogenous base. For the nitrogenous base purine with two rings, it has, I think I forgot the H in the another slide. There has to be H in the purine. Yeah. And for this adenine, there is amino group, that is NH2 group in the sixth position. That is, if it has an amino group in the sixth position of the purine structure, it is called adenine. Similarly, for the guanine, if it has amino group, that is NH2 group in its second position, carbon, and also in its oxy group in the sixth position, that is the purine. So all you need to do is you need to memorize this purine structures. With that, it's going to be very easy to memorize these two nitrogenous bases, this adenine and guanine. It's too easy. Next is about the pyrimidine. So there is this structure for pyrimidine. If it has oxy group in its second position and amino group in its fourth position, that is called cytosine. In the so two oxy 4 amino pyrimidine. And for thymine, 5 methyl, it has methyl group. Since it was not methyl group in any other nitrogenous bases, it is only in the thymine it has methyl group, in its 5th position. And the next is oxy group in its 2 position, so that is dioxypyrimidine. So remember this pyrimidine, and remember this where it has this oxy amino or methyl group. That's why it's going to be easier for you to memorize these molecules and these structures. So the second component in the nucleotide of the DNA is this pentose sugar. This is what a pentose sugar look like in the DNA. So you have beta. It's because in this anomeric, the first carbon, there is hydroxyl group in the upper position. That is why it is beta. And it is deoxy because it does not have OH group. Like in the third position, it only has H group. It only has H group in its 2nd position, so that is why it is deoxy. And D-ribofuranose because it is the structure of D-ribofuranose. This pentose sugar is for the DNA. So this is the phosphate group that it will be linked to this 5th carbon. It has this OH group, so it's going to link together. That's how they are going to be joined. So this 3 makes the nucleotide. Nitrogenous bases, pentose sugar, and the third is phosphate group. So the difference between nucleotide and nucleoside. So if there are this nitrogenous base, pentose sugar, and phosphate group, it makes this nucleotide. If it does not constitute phosphate group, then it's going to be nucleoside. So nucleotide means nucleoside plus phosphate group. So this is the difference between this tight and site. The next is about the structure of nucleotides in DNA. So now this is what nucleotide in DNA looks like. You have this adenine, that is nitrogenous base, and so this is the structure. You see that in this it is linked to the link to the pentose sugar in its 1st position carbon. You have this bond in this yellow color, and again in its 5th carbon, it is linked to the phosphate group, and this all make the nucleotide in DNA. So this is called deoxyadenylate or deoxyadenosine 5 monophosphate. It has only one phosphate, so that is called monophosphate. And the next, so this is the end. So in the next video I will talk about the double helix structure of the DNA.